Hello everyone. This is the next video, which is to familiarize yourself with the Anaesthesia Solution, which is the app we use for documenting anesthetic chart. So I'll just take you through this. So in this, what you do is when you get this kind of screen, you press select patient and this screen comes up. And then if you put the right date and theater or phase in that in the details, and then search for the patient, you get the patients who are booked into your theater. So until the patients are scheduled into theater, you are not actually able to see the patients. So for now, what I'll do is I'll go for Tanya, and then press OK. So I've selected Tanya and press OK. So I'm going into the starting to develop an anesthetic chart for Tanya ZZZ phase C. And then you can check the date of birth and the MR and the age. And if you're happy, just tick the box saying you're happy. So it takes you into another box. That's where you have to choose the monitor which is attached to the patient. So further details of the names will be given to you, and it'll actually be written on the monitor. It'll be stuck on the monitor, the name that you have to select. So that's when you choose the monitor, and then but for now we can't do that because the monitors are not attached, so I'll have to cancel it. But this is the most important bit to make sure that all the numbers you put in, that all the details you put in and all the vitals for the right patient goes into the anesthetic record. So I can't do that now because this is a build domain, but I can only explain it to you. So that takes you on to the infusions and medications you want to continue, because I'm not planning to continue anything, so I'll just cancel that. And that is the screen you get when you start an anesthetic record. So there is a watermark which says the name of the patient there, just to make sure you got the right patient on. And then there is a small arrow here. If you click on that, it lets you go on to the to-do list. And there is also other things. This is linked, all these boxes at the bottom left are linked to this. So if you see, you got the select button, you got the views, which I would suggest don't change until you're familiar with all the things. And then because sometimes you change your views, then things may not appear on the screen, and you don't want to miss out something like heart rate from the final anesthetic chart. So these are for signatures. This is for suspending the case. This button here, which I'm highlighting, is to suspend the case when you need to, like when you need to go to theaters, you suspend it. But make sure that the monitors are still recording, and you get a choice to do that. I think in the build domain you don't, but in real life you'll be able to. When it asks you, shall we stop the monitoring from these, just unselect all and then continue. So this button here is to change the user. Like if somebody comes in and they're starting the case, you can use that to change the user, like at changeover times at 8 o'clock. This button here is to finalize the case when it's all done. So as soon as that's done, it becomes an anesthetic chart. So then we have the macro bit here, which I'll be talking to you about in detail. This is about, you don't need to worry about the continuing orders. That's already done at the beginning. Medications, input. All these three buttons here, they're duplicated here as well. So if you go into the button here, there's a second left bottom. It says documentation. If you click on that, all the things that are here as well on the left side. So that's the clinical staff button to add someone else who is also working with you. Like if you are a trainee doing a list and you want to put the name of the supervisor in there, that's where you put that. Until the name of at least one supervisor comes in there, the anesthetic chart cannot be finalized. So that's one thing you have to remember. So don't worry about this bit. This is something, these two are things which are used in America, so we don't need them. So this is a button which, if you click on it, takes you directly to the power chart or a document for this patient. And that's very helpful when you want to prescribe post-op medications. That's very helpful for you. So that's one thing. So then coming back to all the functions here, we'll start with actions. We got actions, and if you press the actions button, all the actions open, including all the rare things you don't use. So I'll just scroll down so that you can see some of them. And they're also subcategorized into subsections like airway management. If you click on airway management, only the ones which are under that heading come up. But all the other things are everything is there here. So like if you use a macro to document the first IV, and you have put in a second IV in, this is where you go to click the IV and then put it in again, so that you're documenting that you have put a second cannula in. So that is the actions bit. Then you got the medications bit, and when you click on it, you open all the medications. But again, that is a long list of all the medications available in theaters. That everything that is supplied to theaters is added there. But it's easier to go for like induction agent. If you use intermediate instead of propofol in a macro, the macro doesn't have intermediate, so you have to use the macro to document everything else, and you may have to come here to pick up the intermediate from here, and then you have to select the right time and log it in. So that goes for all the other agents as well. So this is all the induction agents. You got list of antiemetics there that are available in theaters, hypnotics that are available, opioids that are available. So these ones, if you use any of the the morphine sulfate intrathecally, you have to choose the right route of administration for these medicines. They also include local anesthetics, but if we are giving the local anesthetics, then we have to document it. But the new decision that has been made is that if the surgeons are giving the local anesthetics, then they will be prescribing it because they have to do it for their local only cases. So it might as well be make sense for them to prescribe it for all cases. So whoever is giving the local should prescribe it. That's what the rule is now. So again, the utrotronic ducts are here. So all the medicines are in one place. So if we use more than one, then which is not there on the macro. Some of them are there. So you can come here. The one thing to mention is that the Cinto infusion will have to be prescribed through power chart, because if the infusion is likely to run past the time of the completion of the anesthetic chart, and it creates problems. So the best thing to do is use power chart to document it. So again, we have intake here. Intake has got two bits to it, the crystalloids, so that's the next one, and the other has got the blood products here. So what you need to do with the blood products is when you click on it, you need double click on it, make sure you put the bag number, the G something in here, so that you can cross reference to which bag it was, because you will still have to do all the paperwork for blood bank, because the blood bank is different and they use their own paperwork. So other products are here, crystalloids are here. Then we got the clinical staff. You can add a clinical staff from here as well. You got output, where the estimated blood loss and surgical output, other output, everything can be entered separately as well. Like if there is a lot of gastric output, that's where you'd enter one of the boxes, wherever you think it goes. And the other thing is, with the estimated blood loss, you can actually put it in as increments. You can put it in as 100 ml 3 times, or you can put the whole amount as 300 at the end. So you got options there. It will add together all the incremental bits you put in. Regarding the monitors, we not got any monitors now. When I click on it, nothing comes, because it is saying nothing is attached yet. That's what it's trying to say. And all the numbers you get here are fake numbers, so these are kind of that's one thing you don't want. You want real numbers. So make sure all the monitors are attached and you're getting the right numbers when you start the anesthetic chart. So I'll just quickly show you these are the kind of the reminders, and that's if you put it in. I don't usually do that. And the deficiencies. There should be no deficiencies at the end for you to be able to complete the anesthetic chart. And you can actually, if you have like 4 things on the macro which you didn't use, you can actually quite easily click all of them together, click all, and then if you're sure you don't need all of them, you can just remove them directly. But please make sure that none of them are the ones you have actually used, to make sure you don't miss out anything. So as soon as you start a macro, what happens is they all come into the to-do list. Some of them, so let's start with a macro, like this is an obstetric case. So there are 3 categories of macros. One is general, the other one is other, and the third one is obstetrics. So you need to go into which one you need, and sometimes you have to use more than one macro. And as soon as you start a macro, it'll go onto the to-do list. Some of the things like the monitoring will automatically get started, and some of the monitorings are automatically give numbers on the screen, but others you may have to manually enter. So this is just an introduction to the buttons and functions that are available in this application. So if you just quickly show you what happens if you click on the patient record, and then I'll stop the recording, and then the macros and things will be shown to you in another video. So this is because it's a build domain, it'll ask you lots of questions, but the real domain is not going to ask you all that. So when you click on it, it does take like 30 seconds, but then you get the same patient's power chart document open. So that is really helpful when you want to prescribe medicines for the patients afterwards. So that's it for now. I'm going to stop now.